welcome back to Making It Fun with Michael Miller Fabrics. My name is Heidi and I am so happy that you're joining us today. Alright, so we did a video the other day about the September 2025 fabric release for Michael Miller, and I covered the first 5 collections in the group, and it was all about adventure and wanderlust. So if you haven't checked out that video, make sure you do check it out because there's some beautiful groups there. Today is part 2. These are all the holiday groups for the fall season. So we've got 2 Halloween groups, we've got a beautiful fall group, and then we've got 2 Christmas groups. So without further ado, let's start Fabric Collections Part 2. Alright, so I have put these collections in order of holidays. So we have the 2 Halloween collections that we're going to start with first. One of these is probably my favorite collection across the entire release. You'll have to let me know if you agree. But we're going to start with Bootown first. Bootown is a Michael Miller collection. It's an in-house collection. They have an amazing designer they've brought on board, and she's a very, very talented lady. And so the in-house collections are done by her, and this is one of them. So let's get into the collection with you and share with you what we've got. So Bootown hits all the marks of a perfect traditional Halloween collection. We've got the main panel called Bootown Panel, and this is a great one because it's got borders top and bottom, so you can use the full length of the fabric for 42 inches to do a bigger quilt, or you could just cut out that center and make it a little bit smaller quilt so you could use it for a wall hanging. From there we go on to the lovely novelty stripe. This stripe is made up of 3 smaller, skinnier stripes, which I always like that because it gives you the versatility of creating a wider stripe with 3 designs, or you could use each narrow stripe as its own for like inner borders or for blocks or for sashing. So from the ghostly stripe, we are going to move on to the ghostly pumpkins. So these are our jack-o'-lanterns tossed in the night air, and sharing it with it are these lovely moths that we're going to see a little bit later. They show up in the collection again, but it's just a very whimsical Halloween without feeling too juvenile. So this is a great one for those of you who are like me and absolutely love Halloween, but you want a little more whimsy to your holiday. We have another one coming up for all of you guys who love the scary stuff, but that is the ghostly pumpkins in dark gray, followed by the ghosts and the stars. So this is a lovely wispy black fabric with the ghosts over it. This would be so fun just to use as a background, to have all of your piece blocks going, and when you look at the background you just see ghosts floating through it. I think it would be very fantastic to see. So from there we are gonna go to another one of my favorite prints in this collection. It's all potion bottles. And the beauty of this fabric in this collection is it adds a splash of color. We're bringing in now some purple and some hot pink into the Halloween fabrics just to give yourself a little more excitement and a few more colors that you can throw in as accents. From there, we're going to go to the Potions and Spells fabric. This is all words, again, reiterating all those colors. It's a great print to use for borders, for centers of blocks, or even just cut up just to add that color through the Halloween quilts or projects that you do. We are on to the glitter dots. The glitter dots come in 2 colors. They did the traditional orange and black. It almost looks like little tiny tossed pumpkins, but these are polka dots, which as you get to know me, you will know I love polka dots. And then they did it in multi, again, pulling in the purple and the pink and the gold. So they're giving us a punch of color so that the quilts can have a little more color and movement to it. It doesn't just focus on black and orange with some gray and white thrown in there. It makes the collection much more versatile because you could go totally to the dark with the blacks and a splash of orange, or you can go more whimsical with all the colors. From there, here we are, we're visiting our night moths. These 2 fabrics are just stunning on their own. We have the moths in black, and then we have them in multi. Again, so you can tie in either which way, but this is called Halloween Damask, and I think that it's such a cool way to use the name Damask when it's just the damask is being made up by all the moths and their beautiful wings. From there, we are off to the spider webs. There wouldn't be a Halloween collection without some spider webs. And these are done very nicely. Smaller print, again, could be used as your full background on a whole quilt. It's used to give your eye a resting space on the whole project, whichever project you decide. And from there we get to the final fabric, which is basically going to be your coordinates. And these are Halloween Sky, and they're giving them to us in orange, purple, and black. So again, they're giving us these almost tonal prints that we can use to fill in around these beautiful novelty prints. Give your eye a break, actually add a little punch and pop there. The orange and the purple, both stunning for borders and bindings as well as accents. So from there, we are going to move on to Nightmare at Halloween. And this one I actually have fabric in the studio for, so let me pull that out and so we can show you what the actual fabric looks like. All right, so here is Nightmare at Halloween. This is for you spooky Halloween lovers that like those scary movies and really creepy haunted houses. I never was a fan of haunted houses. I love Halloween, my favorite holiday of the year. Just don't ask me to go into a haunted house because I scare really easily and that's not my cup of tea. But that being said, this is the collection that is probably my favorite through the whole fabric release. And it's because it's just such a different Halloween. Up first is one of the two main panels that makes this collection so spectacular. This is called Witches, and it's the four witches around their cauldron making up their potion. I put this down here so you guys can see. I love the work. They're bigger than me. Hang on a second. We're going to fold this in half here for a second, but I love this artwork around here, the scroll work. It looks 3D with the skull. Very, very creepy, but very cool. And at the very top here, you have the dancing skeletons at the top of the border. So again, this is one of those panels. I'm going to open it all the way up so you can see what I'm talking about here. This is one of those panels where you could just cut the center out and create a wall hanging out of it, or you can use the whole width of the fabric to make it the center of a bigger quilt. So if you decide to do this as a smaller panel and just cut the frame out, you could use these skeletons as cornerstones against the borders. You could use them as accent pieces. You could save them and put them on the back and front of a tote bag. That would be really awesome. But you could see these guys, very scary, very realistic. Look at her with the claw here and the bats. It's just creepy fun. So this group, if I haven't mentioned it, is designed by Adrienne Chesterman. She must have quite the imagination for this group. Panel number 2 for this is the haunted house. The creepy, creepy haunted house. And again, I'll hold this one up here. I need to be taller. There we go. This is the haunted house. Very, very cool with all the jack-o'-lanterns and the lights in the windows. It's a very well done. It's got another owl and skeletons. So let's lay the panel down and let you take a look at the top half here with the lightning strikes and the vampire bat and the witch across the moon. It's like when you look at these, every time you look, you see something new. And then here's the bottom half. These guys, your scary jack-o'-lanterns. Look at this guy. He's ready to rock and roll with that hat on there. Just really fun panel. This one is a 36-inch panel, so it'd be really fun just to do a pieced border on it, or you could actually make that the center of a very large throw as we're going into Halloween. I mean, I live here in Arizona, so it's still very hot at Halloween, but the rest of the country, you guys, you get to have the nice fall weather, which I miss. I wish we had some more of that. So from there, first up, it wouldn't be a Halloween collection without some black cats, and these cats are done so well with their little green eyes. You just see them, you're not sure what they're up to, but they are adorable. Then we've got the haunted houses with the skeleton, the bats, and the moons. This is a nice one to bring in some orange. Then we've got potion bottles. I love any fabric with potion bottles on it, and I just think those are very well done. You can see all the different colors in there. Just a fun fabric to go with it. Followed by the night sky. And this, as you can see, the group has a lot of blue in it throughout it. And by putting this fabric in, they're pulling all that blue to the forefront, and I love how they do that with just one fabric in the collection. So I'm actually going to take this one, fold it up, and lay it here on the side. So as I lay out the rest of them, you'll see how that blue is just being pulled if you incorporate this fabric into the collection. Next up is the novelty stripe, and we have two scenes going on there. We've got the one with the witches, and then we've got the one with the haunted house. So it's pulling both panels in together into the stripe. This is a very wide stripe that could be cut itself. This is a 9-inch, from here to here is 9 inches. So you could just fussy cut these into blocks and create a really fun quilt with this being the focal fabric, or you could just border those panels with this. Or you can cut the panel and do a stripe at the top and the bottom and then put piece blocks along the side. As you can see, I am a quilt designer and I'm always thinking in quilts. So that is kind of some ideas I would do with this. Then we have the jack-o'-lanterns coordinate with all the tossed jack-o'-lanterns. Again, just bringing in a pop of orange. As you can see as I'm laying these down, when you do a Halloween collection, you do have to bring in other colors to kind of balance out the darkness of the Halloween fabrics, and they do a really great job with both Bootown and this collection. Next up, we've got our scary witches. And we've got them, you know, before skeletal and then into skeletal. So this is a very realistic, spooky Halloween one. I love that you can get some of these Halloween fabrics for adults. This is something my husband would really, really like, where I'm more Bootown. So we have one for Bootown and one for Nightmare at Halloween. You're covered either way. Then we've got this one. This is awesome. This is the witches' hats that are tossed. You can see all the different style hats. I do love the steampunky top hat right there. Again, bringing in some more orange. And then this guy. This would be awesome as a cape or a vest or some sort of garment. It's just dancing skeletons. They're just the creepiest little dudes, but fun, fun, fun to put into on its own or put into the quilt. Now, as I lay this down, you will see all of these, except for the cat, are pretty busy. Then when you throw the cat in or the skeletons in, you're bringing in something to calm things down, tone it out, without having to go to a solid or a basic. That makes the design of this collection very strong. Now we've got the pumpkins again. These guys are now in black. As you can see here, they're the same as these guys right up here. So we're going to put them together for you. And then finally, we'll pull this down because we have the haunted houses. And this is like a sepia color. It is not black. It's not gray. It's got some brown to it. And it's just really, really creepy. But it does a really nice job of being subtle. That would be a great border. All right, so now that we've got them all laying here, I'm just going to lay this down and you can see where it's pulling the blues out of each fabric. And I think that that's a great addition to this collection. So there you go. Those are the two Halloween collections. We've got Bootown for those who like to be whimsical, and we've got Nightmare at Halloween for those who like to be scared. So why don't you leave me a comment below. Let me know, which way do you go for Halloween? Do you go Halloween super cute or Halloween super scary? I'm really interested to see where we end up with that one. So now that we've gone over the two Halloween groups, I did make a short list of ideas of things you could make with Halloween fabric. The best part about this list is it works for any Halloween collections, and as this is just the beginning of September, we have plenty of time to get those Halloween projects done this year. The Halloween fabrics I just showed you will be coming out next year, so you can plan on using them for Halloween of 2026. But if you're anything like me, you've probably got a stash of Halloween fabric in your studio. So here are some quick ideas of what you can do with Halloween fabric. You could create trick-or-treat totes, table runners, placemats, and napkins. How many of us have Halloween parties? You can deck out the whole table with that stuff. Wall hangings to put up by your door, or you could even do a door hanger that's long and narrow. One of those panels would fit the width of the door. Fabric banners or pennants that you can hang up at parties or hang up in your front lawn. My sister lives in Georgia, and their tradition is to have a table out front in the driveway where they sit and relax and talk to the neighbors. You could just decorate that table with the pennants. You can use some of these fabrics for Halloween costumes just to add a punch to make them a little spookier. You can also do them to make a purse for yourself to carry for the season, or like I said before, you can use them for garments. They'd also be great in throw pillows or decor around your house. My other sister, I have two sisters, she takes everything down every season and redecorates for the holidays, including all the pillows on the couches and the quilt by the front door. So that's another great use for Halloween fabrics. Now that we've finished with Halloween, let's move on to fall. And for fall, we have Autumn Flower Market. This is designed by Louise Nesbitt. It's a beautiful collection. Got some great strong quilts that are coming for this one for free projects. This is a great group because some of the colors that they've mixed in are not your traditional fall colors, making the whole group a lot more versatile and easy to use for any season, not just for fall. Some of the prints will only lean towards autumn, but some of these florals you could use any time of the year. So let's get into the collection. First up, we have the Harvest Blessing panel. This panel is a 24-inch panel. It features 4 blocks and then 2 rectangle blocks. And it is showcasing a cornucopia of things, including these adorable scarecrows on the posts. And so with that one, we've got the multi-stripe, which is called Pick Your Own. This is a nice stripe width. It's got 2 different motifs going on. It's got some narrow stripes in there as well. So again, you can use it as a wide stripe showing both motifs, or you can cut it to make narrower stripe borders to go like in the middle of the quilt or use for sashing. I do like having the versatility of going wide or narrow, but I also love the impact that our wide borders give you as well. So this one gives you the versatility, which is lovely. Then we're going to go on to the autumn scenes. This one comes in 2 colors, honey and black, and it's all tossed autumn motifs. It's a great medium-sized print you can use in the center of blocks. You can use for smaller quilts on their borders. You can use them as a focal point on a placemat. I always love when collections have a nice range from large scale to small scale to tonal, and this one has everything for you. So from autumn scenes, we are going on to the fallen leaves in orange. This is the epitome of autumn. It is the beautiful orange leaves all falling down and packed onto the ground. So if you live back east, your trees are going to start changing into these beautiful autumn colors. So this one represents that, and I love that they give it to you so it reads as falling leaves, but it also reads as a tonal orange, so you can use it again like a tonal or like a print. From there, we are moving on to the cozy plaid and coral. They've given you a great plaid to use with the collection, and because it's coral, it could go for fall or could go for spring. It is a lovely plaid that would go with lots of different things. From the cozy plaid corals, we are moving on to the adorable scarecrows. This one again comes in 2 colors. It comes in black, or it comes with them tossed in front of the plaid. So you can tie in the plaid, have it with the scarecrows and without, and you can have your eye move across the piece, and it just will read very nicely. So you can choose if you want your scarecrows to pop on black, or if you just want it as an accent fabric with it on the plaid. From there, we are going on to the pumpkin patchworks. So this one comes in 3 colors. It comes in black. Here's our first look at the mint in this group, and then tan. And you can also see in the patchwork pumpkins that there is some blues in there. They're bringing in some of the softer color palette, which just makes this look like a nice fresh group. From the pumpkin patchworks, we are moving on to the harvest blessings. So these are all fun words to do with harvest and fall, and they're tossed on either black or on honey, so you get the choice. The honey one is much more subtle, so you could use this as a background. You could use this in quieter, bigger areas, where the black with the words has a lot more punch and would be much nicer as a focal in your blocks, whether it's cornerstones or smaller part of the block, but it's a fun fabric that gives you some nice value definition. From there, we are on to the autumn florals. Now these autumn florals are what I'm talking about, where you could use this for autumn or for spring. They are beautifully done, come in 3 colors. You've got mist, tan, and turquoise. And these florals will stand on their own and be used year round, or they tie into this beautiful harvest line very nicely to extend the color palette so it's not just warm colors, that you have a couple cool colors in there. So I hope you like this one as much as I do. It is just a very elegant fall group, and I'm very excited to hear what you guys think of Autumn Flower Market. All right, so we have now gone over the autumn collection. Here are a few quick ideas of things you could do with your fall fabrics. Again, I know we have stashes, so this works for this collection or any fall collections, but you could be making table runners, placemats, and napkins. That's kind of the low-hanging fruit. We all know we can do that, but you could also make pumpkin pillows to throw on the couch that are actually flat with an applique pumpkin, or you can make dimensional pumpkin pillows to put on tables and use as a centerpiece. You could do a door banner welcoming everyone to your home for Thanksgiving. So as we're going into the cooler months, we're going to be digging out lap quilts. So lap quilts are amazing in autumn colors. You could also, with this collection, because it has a nice summer feel in some of the prints and then goes into fall, you could pull it out in August and use it all the way through until you get to your winter quilts. So on top of making lap quilts from your fall fabrics, you can use them for home deck or table settings. You can use them to create centerpieces. Fabric baskets would be great by the door, so people could leave their keys in the baskets by the door, or you could use the fabric baskets at the table to like put your rolls in or bread in, just to add a touch to your table. These would also be really good as soup bowl covers, because you're going to be eating soup watching football, and why not have a fall harvesty bowl cover? I think that would be really cute. Then we wrapped up fall, we're on to winter and into Christmas. So we have two lines to share with you today that are new for the 2025 release. The first collection we're going to go over is called Cozy Little Christmas, and it was designed by Liza B Studios, and it is just the perfect traditional Christmas collection. Let me share it with you. So first up, we have the Cozy Christmas panel. Here I'm showing it to you, the top and the bottom. You can just see it is beautifully done. It's an oval with the tree in the middle, covered by these poinsettias, and then they bring out the plaid out here in the border. So you can have a center that looks oval just by bordering this panel. Let me hold it up for you so you can get the whole feel of it. It is just a very elegant traditional panel of a Christmas tree. And so that is the focal of this collection. So now that I've shared the panel with you, let's move on to the coordinates that go in this collection. First up is the Christmas plaid. They took the plaid that is around the panel and made it its own coordinate, so you can do whatever you want with it. Personally, I think that'd be really fun as a Christmas stocking. Next up, we have all of the trimmings tossed on backgrounds, and this print comes in both cream and in black. So you can have a lot of contrast or a lower contrast. I like when they give you options. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I love polka dots, so these next two are right up my alley. We've got a tone-on-tone green and a tone-on-tone red polka dot. Very nice to give your eye a rest in this busy but beautiful collection. And these also would work on their own in other groups. It's just a great basic to have in your stash. Then we've got the Patchwork Christmas. These are beautiful. This would be an elegant back, be a great bag. It'd be wonderful as gift bags. So this one here is a nice print to use in bigger chunks. You could also use it as your border. Then we've got all the trimmings. This time they're on the tree. Again, this would be really fun to cut applique trees out and put them down on the quilt. They've done all the work for you, so it would just look like you spent all this time doing all this work, and all you need is a silhouette of a tree and you got yourself a beautiful quilt. And that would be really fun on the red. So nice cute little quilt idea there. Next up, we have the Elegant Wreaths on Music. Very pretty. It's bringing in the creams and the tans and the golds, and it's pulling it all together, but it gives you a lighter print. You can see a lot of these, other than that one, are dark, so it's nice to have a couple of these lighter ones in here. Next up, we have the berries and the pines with the pine cones and the poinsettias, and I'm going to hold this one up here. You can just see, whoops, I grabbed too many fabrics. Let me straighten that out. You can see just how beautiful the artwork is on this collection. They put a lot of value and definition in there. It's not flat, it looks realistic. And this one, I could just see this one as a huge border on the quilt. I could see this as placemats. I could see this also as gift bags, but it's just a very, very beautifully done poinsettia fabric. Next up, we have the holiday stamps. Again, we have a green with a light green, and then we have the red with the gold. Another coordinate. So this one is really, really quiet. This one adds a little bit more movement to your piece, but these two fabrics also just stand out on their own. They would be beautiful in a Christmas quilt, or just in a red and gold project, or a project where you need some green with a little bit of movement. So those are nice and strong. This is the holiday wreaths in black on music. So this is the same one as that one, but this one you can see, you know, this is very dramatic. It's out there. It's giving you that punch of color, where this one's much more subtle and quiet and elegant and sits in the background. So you can decide which way you want your wreaths to look. And then we have, after the stamps, we have our baubles. These are our Christmas ornaments, and they have thrown in a little gingerbread man hidden inside the baubles. It's beautifully done. Again, a lot of dimension, a lot of color to that. Then we have the poinsettias again, but this time they're in cream. So where with the wreaths, you get a lot of punch with the black, and this one is subtle. With the poinsettias, you get a lot of, this one is subtle, and you get the punch when you put it on the cream. So again, they're giving you two fabrics, one that's subtle, one that has a more punch, and you can decide which way you want to go. But just these coordinates alone would be beautiful as a quilt without the panel and some of the other brighter fabrics. So this collection has so much versatility, so many different looks you could do with it, and it is a very well done Christmas line. So next up is our last collection in this group, and it is called Winter Flower Fairies, and it is based on Celie Mary Barker's artwork of the fairies. If you've been around Michael Miller Fabrics for the past 25 years, you know that these fairies have made a resurgence in the collections from year to year, and this is all based on Celie Mary Barker's artwork. And then they've taken it and given you different, they've taken her artwork and created it into different themes of fabric. So this one is all winter and Christmas. So I'm going to pull up a chair and we're going to go over this last collection together. So with this collection, they have created it in two different colorways that work well together. And the first one is the main panel. The panel comes with red or with blue. So if you want to leave the outer border on, you would get some blue or some red peeking out. The centers of the panel, the backgrounds are different. So the red one has a very light blue background and the blue one has a very dark blue background. So you get two different feels with those panels. Along with the panels, there are two coordinating stripes, one in red and one in blue. Again, the backgrounds mimic those, but there's no reason you couldn't take the blue stripe and put it on the red panel or vice versa. They play well together. From the multi-stripes, we're going to go into the Winter Fairy border. This is a beautiful print with a very wide section at the bottom of the fairies, and then the top is all tossed flowers against the blue backgrounds. So you could use these wide borders a couple of different ways. One is you could cut the wide border off and make it a focal point of the quilt. Another would be to use that as the center of the project. Or you could get two of them and hem them together and have like a tablecloth with the wide border going down either side. There's a lot of different things you can do with these wide borders, and they're giving them to you in both ice blue and in midnight. From the wide borders, we are going on to the Winter Fairy Poinsettia. This print comes in three colors. It comes with the black background, it comes with ice blue background, and it comes with a midnight background. Again, you can choose if you want the fairies to really pop off with the black or be more subtle with the ice blue, or if you just want a happy medium, you can go with the midnight background. So they've got you covered across the board on that. And then finally for this group, we have the Winter Fairy Foulard. This is the coordinate that goes with the collection. It comes in these cool colors of mistletoe, ice blue, and midnight. And then they give you the warm colors with the black and red, the multi, which is red, green, and white. And then you have just the red on black. So they're giving you the full range of cool to warm colors that you can tie in, but they have the one very nice basic that adds some movement and texture to the collection without overpowering the fairies. And the final print in the collection is called Winter Fairy Holiday. This is a beautiful tree all decked out with ornaments and garland. It brings a nice green into the collection to kind of tie everything together. And the green plays off of the fairies' clothing as well as the tree and the panel. It's an excellent accent fabric that can also just become its own focal print on its own. Now that we've covered the last of the two Christmas collections, let me make a recap of the projects that you could use with these two holiday lines or any holiday line you have lying around at home. You could do quilted stockings, gift bags for under the tree. These gift bags they're just a simple drawstring bag that you can make, and your tree will look beautiful, and you can reuse the bags from year to year. You could do a tree skirt. A tree skirt out of the Winter Fairies would be stunning. The one out of the Cozy Little Christmas would just be very, very warm and inviting. You could do holiday throws. Again, now we're in the heart of winter, so it is cold. You're going to want some quilts, but nothing like having some Christmas throws to put around the house so when people come over, they can snuggle up under your couch. They can snuggle up under your quilt. And finally, you can definitely use these for home deck, throw pillows, runners, placemats, anything that you have lying around the house at the holidays, just to make it feel a little more festive, can be made from these fabrics. That is the end of the fabric collections for September 2025, part 2, from Spooky Nights to Holiday Lights. We have 2 more to go. The next video features some of my favorite collections in this group. It's all mythical, magical, and whimsical. That's the next video coming up. And if you haven't caught the first video, that one has all our adventure and wanderlust fabric collections in them. And make sure you stay tuned. Once we work through all these collections, we are going to start with some tips, tricks, and tutorials. And I want to thank everyone who's left me comments below. I am checking them, so just pop down there and say hello. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when the next video is up. And as always, I hope you're making it fun with Michael Miller Fabrics, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!